Tell me if this sounds familiar. A client sends you a shitty ChatGPT draft and asks you to just clean it up. A week later, they shave your rate because, hey, the robot did most of the work, right? You sigh and say yes, because the alternative is another first of the month staring at your bank account having no idea how much you're going to make this month. Because your income looks like a heart rate monitor. 4 grand one month, 2 the next, 8 after that, and then back to 4. And somewhere along the way, you started calling that freedom. Listen, I'm going to be straight with you for the next 30 minutes. Copywriting didn't die. It split clean in half. And you're standing right on the crack. There's a role brands are throwing 8 to 12K a month retainers at right now, and it's supposed to be the exact one that AI was supposed to kill. If you can already write decent copy, you're already 80% of the way there. And you've been giving that away for basically free, filing it under copywriting, and let the buyer line you up next to the $40 guy on Fiverr. I'm going to name that seat in a second and show you the one piece you're actually missing, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you're honestly going to be kind of pissed at how hard you've been underselling yourself. Quick filter first, so neither of us waste the next 30 minutes. If you're still on TikTok trying to choose a make money online business model, do us both a favor and click off this video. If you think a $99 course and a 5,000 person Discord is going to get you to 6 figures, please click off this video. And if you're an ostrich with your head in the sand, pretending AI isn't here to stay, go cry about it all you want, just not here on this video. This is for the copywriter who's been in the arena. You've written emails, ads, landing pages, either not been paid yet, or you've been paid some money, maybe even kissed 10K a month, but slid straight back down. You've got the foundations. What you don't have is consistency, leverage, or any clear idea where this market is heading while it moves without you. If that's you, go grab a pen and paper, because in a few minutes, I'm going to have you score yourself red, yellow, or green across 9 specific categories. By the end of this, you'll be holding a 1-page x-ray of your entire freelancing business. You'll know the exact 2 or 3 things keeping you stuck and exactly what to fix in the next 90 days to land 2 or 3 clients paying you 5 to 10 grand a month each. A flaw you could actually count on and the end of the Stripe refresh ritual on the 1st of every month. Got your pen? Good. I'm impatient. Let's go. Let's start with the thing you already feel in your gut, but no one said it to your face yet. Since early 2026, 2 things are true about copywriting at the same time, and the tension between them is what's making you feel a little uneasy. The bottom of the market collapsed. The work that used to keep beginners and mid-level copywriters fed, the blog posts, email broadcasts, basic SEO content, product descriptions, that got swallowed. AI took a huge bite and the race to the bottom freelancers pushed the rest into the dirt. Don't believe me? Well, Upwork, the biggest freelancing platform on the planet, said it out loud in their own report. Content writing is drying up. It dropped over 30% last year, the most of any category. And the writers surviving are the ones they literally described as evolving into strategists. Hey, their words, not mine. But check this shit out. Study after study on this keeps landing on the same strange finding. It wasn't actually the cheap Fiverr guys who got hit the hardest when AI arrived. It was actually the good ones. The experienced, higher priced, skilled writers took the biggest hit to their work and their income. Your edge, the polished sentence you took real pride in, turned out to be the exact thing the machine learned to copy first. At the same moment the floor was falling out, the ceiling shot up. Brands are pouring money into performance creative across Meta, Google, and TikTok, and they are desperate for people who can turn that spend into growth. Pull up Glassdoor right now and search for creative strategists. The average sits around 130 grand a year, with senior people clearing 146. And that's the salaried number. The freelance version of that exact same seat runs at 5 to 12 grand a month per client. 2 of those, and you've got a stable 6-figure income of 2 clients. So the bottom collapsed, the top exploded, and the middle, where most working copywriters are right now, probably you watching this, is where that squeeze is happening. Why? Because buyers can compare the work too easily. When every freelancer sounds like a copywriter, the client has no reason to pick you over the $40 person on Fiverr, or the free version living inside ChatGPT, even though we both know it's shit. So they do what any rational buyer does, they negotiate. They tell you to use AI. They cut your rate. You're getting squeezed because the seat you're sitting in got commoditized. Listen, I know AI copy as crap out the box. You know AI copy as crap out the box, but all clients see is efficiency and cost savings. That's the reality we're living in now. You can either sit around whinging about it, or you can adapt and do what the people at the top are doing. Why did the top blow up at the exact same moment the bottom fell out? What's going on? What changed? Why did the whole industry shift towards meta ads and creative strategists? What's going on? What caused this? And more importantly, how can you get a slice of the pie? Quick 2-minute backstory. If you already live and breathe this stuff and you just want the system, just skip ahead to the chapter called The Roadmap. But if you're still a little fuzzy on where this gold rush actually came from, stay with me because this is important. Long story short, our good old pal, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, burned $80 billion building his precious metaverse. No one used it, shockingly. So he shut it down and directed that giant stack of NVIDIA AI chips he'd stockpiled over the years into completely rebuilding the Meta ad algorithm from the ground up. At the same time this was happening, AI image and video generation tools were starting to take off. So we saw a meteoric rise in AI slop flooding Facebook and Instagram because of how quick and easy it was to pump out content with AI. So they had to upgrade the algo to be able to handle the immense volume of content that was being uploaded every second, both organic and ads. The result was the almighty Andromeda algorithm, and it accidentally gave birth to the biggest boom in copywriting we've ever seen. Because for years, targeting was a huge part of advertising. You stacked interests, lookalikes, exclusions, and basically prayed that the ads found the right people. Your ad just had to not suck because the machine did the aiming for you. But since the new Andromeda ranking and retrieval engine is 10,000 times more powerful and complex than the previous algo, at least according to Meta's own engineering team, the entire advertising industry was flipped on its head in October 2025 when Andromeda finished rolling out. Now, I won't get into exactly how it works here. Here's all you need to know. The machine used to ask, who should see this ad? It took your targeting and went hunting. Now it asks, which ad should this specific person see? It analyzes your creative, the hook, the visuals, the script, the overall vibe, and then it matches the ad to the human. Your targeting settings barely matter anymore because your creative is the targeting. This algo is so cracked, it knows exactly what their pains are, their desires, their circumstances, what's going on in their life, and exactly what ad they'll respond to right now. Essentially, this shit's alien level tech. So the old way of running ads, 3 to 5 scripts with 3 to 5 hooks, call it a day. Andromeda is a hungry hippo. It wants lots of ads, typically at least 25 to 50 ads per campaign. And it's picky too. If 2 ads are too similar, Meta collapses them into the same entity ID and doesn't show the second ad to anyone. So these tiny cosmetic tweaks, like changing the font and the color, still only count as 1 ad creative. So the AI slot machine loses. And honestly, thank God. What the algorithm wants is 25 to 50 properly different angles. Different hooks, messaging, mechanisms, different doors into the same buyer's head, and different reasons for different avatars to buy. Volume and diversity are the name of the game now. And sure, AI can pump out 50 angles in like 60 seconds, but deciding which ideas are actually worth creating and testing takes judgment and taste. Both human skills, at least for now. Your skills, actually, the ones you've been giving away for basically free this whole time. Brands don't need one beautiful ad anymore. They need someone who can look at the funnel, spot where the creative is leaking money, generate 20 real angles a week, pick the ones worth testing, brief the production team, read the data, and drive the whole engine. That seat is, of course, the creative strategist, an ad copywriter who owns performance. That is all it is. And if you've been seeing these 4 to 5 figure retainers posted everywhere you turn, well, that's because there are 8 million businesses running ads on Meta right now. Most of them got absolutely nuked by the Andromeda update, and they're scrambling to catch up. They can't hire fast enough. These guys are posting 6-figure roles and still struggling to fill them because there simply just aren't enough talented people who can actually do this. And check this shit. I found this company called Vonu. They listed a remote creative strategy role at 55 grand a year. The internet roasted them so hard it made the news. People were outraged that they would even dare post a creative strategist role for 55k a year. And possibly my favorite example, this guy Sebastian comments on one of my posts. Didn't even know what a creative strategist was. Saw a job post looking for one, read the responsibilities and thought, oh, that sounds just like a copywriter. Applied for the role, got it, and now he's a full-time creative strategist. And honestly, that last bit might just be the most important sentence in this whole video, just like a copywriter. Because think about what you actually do as a copywriter. You dig through their copy, you study the winners, you stalk the competitors in your ad library, you reverse engineer the funnel, find unique mechanisms of the problem and the solution, and work out what would actually move the avatar to buy, then write compelling copy to get them to take an action. Study what worked and then do more of it. That's literally 80% of what a creative strategist does. You've been doing it the whole time and filing it under copywriting, which is the exact word that gets you lined up next to Fiverr and paid like it. That missing 20% is the ad production, the packaging, the positioning, and the workflow to do it at volume. Plus a system who gets you in front of buyers who pay strategist money. That 20% is the rest of this video. First thing we need to do is find yourself on the map. Every working copywriter I've ever met goes through 5 stages. You're standing on exactly one of them right now. And the thing that gets you to the next stage is never the thing that got you to the current one. Stage 1, commodity copy. 0 to 2 grand a month, Fiverr gigs, a mate's business, a $200 email sequence. You're learning the craft, good, and someone who can easily be swapped for AI, another freelancer, or his cousin who did English at uni. Fine place to start, terrible place to stay, because this is the exact flaw that's caving in. Your unlock here is, of course, skills. Then we have stage 2, scrappy freelancer. By the way, I know my handwriting is phenomenal, no need for compliments, okay? In this band, you're at 2 to 5 grand, a couple repeat clients, maybe one small retainer. You can see the career path from here, but it's basically held together with duct tape, hope, and one, we're tightening the budget this quarter. Puts you back on the job boards, refreshing at midnight like a fucking slot machine. Your unlock here is, of course, client acquisition. A repeatable way to create your own opportunities instead of waiting for them. Or maybe you're stage 3, underpaid workhorse. 5 to 10 grand a month, pretty much full-time in copy, working harder than you ever have because you're likely balancing a job on the side. By this stage, you probably have 3 to 5 clients who all want slightly different things, and you're running as half copywriter, half account manager, half therapist, half strategist, and half wanting to fuck everything off and just move to Mexico to become a fisherman or something. That's 4 halves, which is exactly what it feels like and why you're cooked by Thursday. But the most brutal part of this is that you're already doing the strategist job every day. You're just still being paid as the words guy. Most good copywriters unfortunately die on this stage and never make it out. So if I had to take a guess, this is probably about where you are. Your unlock has nothing to do with working harder and everything to do with the seat you're in. You're just in the wrong seat. Then we move on to the seat where everyone wants to be, the in-demand creative strategist. This is where we officially pass the giant crack in the middle, the great divide that is separating the writers at the bottom getting destroyed and the writers at the top eating everyone's lunch. Let me tell you, life's much better on this side of the crack. In this phase, you're making 10 to 30 grand a month. Everything flips. 2 to 4 serious clients at 5 to 10 grand a month each. You own the creative system. You're in the room before the writing when the decisions get made. You drive the angles, brief the production, read the data. Clients are paying mostly for your judgment now, and they pay you a lot more, stay longer, and treat you like a partner. But there's one final rung, and the unlock to get there is changing models. That's how we get to the almighty stage 5 scaled strategist. 30 to 100K a month and up. Honestly, I don't even want to put a ceiling on it because there really isn't one. Options everywhere, 5-figure retainers. At this point, you can hire a junior, you can run a lean operation, you can build out a fleet of AI agents, or you can go deep with one brand and take a slice of the upside. You can launch your own offer. Honestly, the world's your oyster at this point because you've stopped trading hours for money in a straight line. Now, I want you to look at the jumps because 2 of these work in completely different ways from the rest. Stage 2 to 3 is a skills jump. Better craft, better clients, more reps, and you can pretty much just grind your way through it. But stage 3 to 4 breaks every rule the first jump taught you. Because getting better at writing stops working here. You can be the best writer in the room and rot at stage 3 forever. And most talented people do. Because this jump requires a role change to get over that crack. You stop being hired as the person who writes the copy and start being hired as the person who owns the strategy behind it. The moment that role changes, the price on your exact same brain and pair of hands triples. So if you've been stuck in the crack, this is why. You've been trying to make a positioning jump with grinding tools. Doesn't work, never has. So I want you to be honest. Where are you? Write that number down and let me know in the comments. The rest of this video is about making that stage 3 to 4 jump because that is where the real leverage lives. At 1 or 2, this absolutely still applies. You'll just cash it in a bit later. And if you're already at stage 4, I'll show you in a bit exactly what to fix to make that next jump. Whether you want lean, 2 or 3 solid clients, 4-day weekends, surfing on a Tuesday if that's your thing, or you're a savage and you want to push 30, 50, 100K months, you are going to have to change your model. There is no way around it. My only rule for you is that as the business grows, your life has to get better, not worse. If growth means grinding yourself into misery, you, my friend, are doing it wrong. That is a broken model, and I refuse to let you build a higher paid prison. Floor first, scale after, if you want. And hey, listen, if your gut's already going, this is it. I am done being a prompt monkey. There's a link below this video to a short explainer page and an application where you can apply to work directly with me and my team to map the fastest path to your first or next 2 high-paying creative strategist clients. And if forms aren't your thing, just DM me the word game plan on Instagram and I'll send you the 0 to 20K a month game plan there. Now grab a pen and paper because here comes the system. Quick receipts before I hand you the model because you shouldn't take a roadmap from some random guy on the internet. In case we've never met, my name is Ferres. I'm a Forbes featured copywriter who's been in the direct response game for nearly a decade. I've been running meta ads for 7 years. I've spent around $1.4 million of my own money and generated around $6 million in return as my side hustle while pursuing a full-time music career and playing shows all over the world. I've consulted for 24 7 to 10 figure brands, coached hundreds of copywriters and taken 84 of them past 6 or even 7 figures a year in actual income. My students have signed clients like Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi, Dan Martell, Russell Brunson, Amazon, Netflix, you name it. This stuff is my jam. And this model I'm going to show you is everything we use to do it. I call it the creative strategist flywheel. 3 phases: plan, produce, and profit. Plan is the strategy work, knowing what to make and why. Produce is making it and running it, and profit is turning that skill into a 6-figure income. What should we try to draw a circle? You get all 3 of those, and that's where we get you in the middle as a 6-figure creative strategist. There are 9 accelerators around the outside, and they all feed each other in a loop. Your test data flows straight back into your research. Your winning ads become your portfolio, and your happy clients refer the next ones. Every turn of the wheel spins faster. Your research phase makes great ads build a great portfolio. That gets you great clients gets you test data. Test data feeds the research, and happy clients refer the next ones. Every turn of the wheel spins faster for the brand and for your income. But you miss a phase and the whole thing tips over. Strategy skill with no clients earns 0. Clients with sloppy delivery leave, and both of those without the foundations just buys you a better paid version of the exact burnout you're trying to escape. So we're gonna walk all 9, and I'm gonna ask yourself to grade yourself on each one. Green, it works and you can rely on it. Yellow, it half works. coin flip. Red, it's broken or you've never thought about it. By the end, you'll have 9 colored boxes and you'll probably find 2 or 3 of them will be strangling the rest. Now these first 2 phases here, plan and produce, follow my impact system for creative strategists. The third one is all about client acquisition. Let's get into it. Phase 1, plan pillars 1 to 3 of my impact system. Starting with pillar 1, Intel. Have you noticed everyone does research the same way? Scrape some Reddit threads, grab some voice of customer quotes, call it a day. Cool. That is one of 6 sources, and it's not even close to the best data. It's like 5th on the list. The best research doesn't start out in the market. It starts inside the business and moves outwards. That's why we use my 6C Intel engine. 6 C's ordered from most accurate to least. Starting with controls. What's the brand already running that works? Survey and interview the people who actually bought, so you're hearing exactly what made real buyers pull the trigger instead of hypothesizing about strangers. Conversations. Every sales call transcript, support thread, and DM mined for the exact reasons people bought and every objection they had to climb over. C4. Competitors. The ad's working right now for brands serving the same market as you. They've already spent the time, money, and energy testing, so we swipe accordingly. Then we get to communities, the classic Reddit and forum crawl that everyone thinks is research. And finally, creators. Whatever's going viral organically in the niche because these hooks already resonate and they often make killer ads. Then you run all 6 of these through an AI synthesis engine that finds the gap the market is dying for that no one's addressing. Listen, I'm not claiming to be the only one with unique shit here, but I honestly haven't seen anyone talking about combining all 6 of these data sources into one comprehensive research framework and then building an AI workflow that does it all for you. We purposely spend the most amount of time in this segment because if you get this Intel stage right, everything downstream takes care of itself. Your ads can be super average production-wise and still rip your competitors' beautiful ads to shreds because yours speak to the soul of the customer and theirs miss the bullseye. You'll know the market so deep, they'll think you've been living in their bedroom closet their whole life. This is also what changes your sales calls and interview forever. When you can walk into a funnel and you can say, you're losing 3 out of every 5 people at the upsell because the price lands before the desire does. And at your traffic, that's about $4,000 a week. My friend, the temperature changes in seconds. And guess who's getting that retainer? That's right. It's you. Even Kenneth, an A-list copywriter whose ads and VSLs have done over $50 million in sales for just one of his clients, so that this research system is the most comprehensive he's ever seen. By the way, Kenneth is actually one of the 4 coaches inside our programs. So if you join us, he'll be personally reviewing your ads and coaching you every week. I want you to mark this green if you've got a repeatable research system pulling from multiple sources, not just forums, and you can find money leaks that you can put a dollar figure on. Yellow if you scrape some Reddit and wing the rest. And red if you just skip research and write off fucking vibes or whatever. Moving on to the M in impact, we have map. More specifically, my angle engine. Research gives you the ammo. The angle map turns into concepts. Now to simplify things, a concept is just an angle crossed with a format. That's all. There are 21 proven ad formats we've identified that have stood the test of time. The map shows you how to cross your best angles against the right formats, ideate with AI, and put 25 properly different concepts on the board on command. This is the same angle engine I've used to crank some absolute home runs and generate returns like these from my ads. Remember, Andromeda is a hungry hippo, and every brand's bottleneck basically moved from write me a couple great ads to bring me 20 strong different concepts a week without your brain melting by Wednesday. That's basically the job now. So when it's time to generate ideas, do you have a system that fires on demand? Or are you staring at the cursor, waiting for the muse, and she's late again? That's why we built the Angle Engine, which is the AI workflow that does this for us. Patrick ran my Angle Engine with our final boss swipe faults. He messaged me that he pulled way better angles in one sitting that he'd been getting out of the big paid swipe tools like Foreplay. So you're gonna rank this green if you have frameworks that produce angles on demand, yellow if you can do it on caffeine and a gut feeling, and red if you're still staring at a blank Google Doc. We all know that feeling. The ideation stage is honestly something that a lot of copywriters struggle with big time. So I'm gonna rank that yellow. Pillar 3, and we get to the P in impact, which is of course pen. It is time to script some ads. So this AI scripting workflow takes all the concepts you came up with in the previous step, ranks them by strength, chooses the top 20%, and turns those into polished scripts with 2 engines. The hook engine pulls from my final boss swipe fault. And honestly, if you don't have your own swipe fault, you need one of these. I've spent years saving every viral video, ad, anything that stopped my thumb, and then a full week of my life feeding it all into a very powerful AI deep scraper to find more like them and categorize them all by format and niche. This thing is a weapon. Hundreds of proven winners, organic and paid, sorted by niche, format, and category. You literally go, I want this ad for this niche, and there's very likely a banger sitting in there already waiting for you to swipe away. From there, the script engine takes over and then models your body copy of proven structures at whatever awareness levels you're targeting. So you're never writing from a blank slate again. You're assembling from a vault of things that already worked, with your judgment steering the machine instead of you playing spell checker with a pulse. Once you dial in your Claude workflow, this shit gets super fun. Andrew, one of our members, got so productive with his AI workflows that his client literally thought he was an entire agency instead of just one freelancer, which is hilarious, and doubled his retainer from $4,000 a month to $8K a month. So you're gonna rank yourself green if you can turn a concept into a tight, proven structure script inside 10 minutes. Yellow if one good ad still costs you half an hour or an hour. And red if it takes you longer than an hour to write a good ad. You know what? I'm actually going to give you the benefit of the doubt for this one. I'm going to say, because you're a copywriter, this should be absolutely your strong suit. You should be able to write some pretty banger scripts. You probably have your own AI workflows and that sort of thing. So there you go. You got a W on the board. Congratulations. If you get all three of these things to green though, that's when you stop selling words and you start selling the engine that produces them. And an engine is a lot harder to commoditize than a sentence. Now we move into phase 2, produce. This is weeks 4 to 6 and the ACT of our impact system. Pillar 4 and the A in impact, we have assets. We're going to take the script and bring them to life. For statics, an AI prompt to image workflow cranks out the 5 major types. Of course, you already know Uncle Sean's got AI workflows to do this, one for statics and one for videos. Without statics and video engines. Yes. I'm very creative for my names, okay? Again, no need to compliment me. So for statics, an AI prompt to image workflow cranks out the 5 major types of statics, which are product shots, testimonials, infographics, native statics, and breaking news style. For video, you can either send scripts off to the founder and UGC creators to film, or you can just make them yourself using cutting edge premium AI video models like Cdance, VO, whatever comes out next. Now, this is where most copywriters tap out, and it's exactly why you shouldn't, because the strategist you can also produce owns the whole pipeline, and every deliverable you own is another line on the retainer. You're gonna rank yourself green if you can take a script to finish static or video without waiting on anyone. Yellow if statics are fine, but video kind of scares you. And red if you've only ever handed words to someone else and let them deal with it. Now, what do we do after we've produced the ads? Of course, it is time to launch the campaign. Now, technically this leaks outside of creative strategy, more into media buying territory, but because it's very important to know how your work fits into the greater ecosystem. So in my opinion, there are only 7 major different funnel types that a business can run. It's super important you choose the right one for your business, and which one you choose typically comes down to how much warming your buyers need before they actually purchase, which also comes down to the strength of your brand, the strength of your content, and the strength of your sales team. So in order from funnels that produce the coldest leads to funnels that produce the warmest leads, we have lead magnet funnels, low ticket tripwire, book a call VSL, quiz funnels, webinars, and then for ecom, we have advertorial to product page and then direct to product page. Super important you pick the right one for your business if you're going to have success with your ads, because the funnel determines which ads you run at which awareness levels. I want you to rank yourself green if you could structure and launch a campaign tomorrow, yellow if you kind of know the theory but you've never pressed any buttons in the manager before, and red if ads manager may as well just be a Boeing 747 cockpit, which, let's be real, is absolutely the case for most copywriters. So we'll just say you're red for that one. Now it's time for the final phase, T in the impact system, which is of course test. So the ads are live, now you read the data. We need to know which numbers in the dashboard actually matter, which ads are winners, which ones get killed. We typically use tools like Motion and nowadays even Claude directly to the MCP integration to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And then the fun part. When you find a winner, you milk the living shit out of it. Every static type, every video format, different faces, different creators, different avatars. You want to milk that winning angle as hard as you possibly can. If you do this right, one winning angle can run for months or even years. Perfect example, take Daniel Isles at Viral Coach. He found one winning angle. We guarantee you 1 million views or you don't pay. That dude has remixed it so many times with so many different formats, hooks, bodies, visuals, different people filming, that he's able to profitably spend 7 figures a month on ads, primarily with that one angle. I mean, it's literally the ad that got me to sign up with them a year ago. And this remix system is actually the same one that enabled me to run the first ad I ever made for 4 years straight without it burning out, with it producing as high as a 9x ROAS. Now, unfortunately, I only found out that it was a 9x ROAS years later once I actually installed proper tracking software. And yes, believe me, I am kicking myself super fucking hard for not increasing spend past $300 a day. But hey, you live, you learn. You're gonna rank this green if you can tell me what every metric in the Meta Ads dashboard means and which ones to pay attention to make decisions. Yellow, if you know ROAS is a thing, but you don't really know how to read the dashboard to determine what you should test next. And red if Meta Ads dashboard still reads like hieroglyphics. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'd say you got a basic grip on general marketing terms like ROAS, cost per lead, click-through rate, etc. And now it's time for the fun part. We get to move into phase 3, profit. This is weeks 7 to 9. We're done with the skills bit, the full impact system, Intel, map, pen, assets, campaign, and test. Now it's time to get paid. And here is the beautiful part about creative strategy. With copywriting, getting clients used to be the hardest part. It was the bottleneck that everyone struggled with for years. It's what I built my entire business off, helping copywriters get clients since 2018 because they struggled with it that much. With creative strategy though, it is completely flipped. Demand is so hot that positioned properly, clients come to you. Neil legit changed his LinkedIn bio to creative strategist. He got 400 inbound opportunities the same day. He had to change it back because he couldn't keep up. Travis posted one raw talking head video to Instagram. Literally no captions or editing. Just, hey, I'm Trav from Melbourne. I'm a creative strategist. 20 minutes later, had a business owner comment and ask if he's available for hire. Can't make this shit up. That's why getting clients went from the majority of my program to the minority. Now, with that said, there are people way better at ads than me, but I honestly can't name anyone better at the hyper-specific skill of helping copywriters land paying clients. It's the thing we're known for. It's what I've done exclusively for the last 8 years. And these 3 accelerators are that entire playbook. Now we move to Accelerator 7, positioning. So this is stuff like your bio, your site, your Calendly, your offer, your pricing, all rebuilt around the creative strategist seat. So when opportunities present themselves, you know exactly what to say and what to charge. I mean, sure, you could come along and slap creative strategist in your bio, but what's next? What's your actual offer when a client reaches out to you? How do you get your foot in the door? How do you make a mafia offer they simply can't refuse? Who do you think's gonna win? I'm a creative strategist, or I'm a DTC creative strategist for pet brands. I'll beat your best ad in 7 days or you don't pay. Starting with a $300 trial for 7 statics. Not even close. Rank yourself green if your positioning screams strategist and growth partner. Yellow if you hint at it, but still lead with copy services. Or red if you just look like every other NPC freelancer on Upwork. Most people are okay, not great. Now it is time for my favorite phase of this whole thing, client acquisition. This is our bread and butter, and we have 2 systems that are absolutely ripping right now. System 1 is my reverse outreach engine. My claim to fame in this industry, if you want to call it that. Everyone else sprays cold DMs and emails, pulls maybe a 1% reply rate. We completely flipped outreach on its head. We built an agentic AI called Inbox Hunter that scrapes the entire meta ad library in whatever niche you pointed at, clicks through the ads, and signs itself up to all the businesses' email lists automatically. So brands that are actively spending on ads start emailing you first. Your only job is replying to your own inbox with my proven scripts and offering something of real value, an audit, a diagnosis, a lead magnet. That's how we're able to get 5 to 10% reply rates instead of 1. 2% to 20% reply rate the day he started using my scripts. Reverse outreach is the same system that China used to land 8 new clients in a single month and went from $1,500 a month to over 11 grand a month in 1 month. We actually shipped a giant CMB Rainmaker of the Year trophy to her house. She landed so many clients. So that's system 1. System 2 is job boards. And no, not the way everyone else does that shit. This is my second contribution to the industry that I'm very proud of, that I call my no-brainer hiring kit. Now, the core mechanism behind that is my anti-resume. This is effectively a 2-page mini sales letter on why they should hire you. If you want to be cheeky, you can include 2 or 3 reasons to not hire you in the opener. That's a really good attention grabber. And then you hit them with a mafia offer that we identified in the last step. For example, I'll beat your best ad in 7 days or you don't pay. Guys, I promise you, people are so fucking lazy with their applications. They copy paste the exact same resume to every single person, don't customize anything. Sure as hell, they go out of their way to research the brand or like actually make custom ads for them or any shit like that. You might think it's really hard to stand out on these job boards against people with more experience. And true, you're not going to win on experience, which is why I built this system. This is how you beat people with years of experience, even as a complete beginner with no portfolio or track record, because it puts you in a category of 1. Hiring managers go, who the hell is this? We need to get him on an interview right now. And if it sounds like I'm talking out of my ass here, this is Leilani. She landed a $12,000 a month trial to hire opportunity with arguably the biggest brand in her entire industry on the very first application she sent using my anti-resume. That was like 2 months ago. She's still working with them right now as I sit here and film this. And if you think that was some kind of fluke, both Colin and Cyan, they both had the founders of the companies personally reaching out to them asking for an interview on their first try. I like to think I know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to getting clients. This is the one pillar I'm allowed to be extremely cocky, because boy, I got the fucking receipts more than anyone in this industry. And that is a public challenge, by the way. If you want proof, go to the link below. Do me a favor, let me know how long it takes you to reach the bottom of the page. And you might want to pack a lunch because you'll be scrolling for a while. There's over 1,000 testimonials on there of people landing clients. Anyways, I digress. My question for you, how strong is your client getting game? Green, if I gave you 14 days, you have to get a client. You're extremely confident, you know exactly what to do, and you have an extremely effective system to do so that is as reliable as the sun rising. Green. If you've had some success in the past with some outreach messages, maybe referrals, but it's very inconsistent. Yellow. If you still, for the life of you, still cannot manage to land a single paying client, like most copywriters, you, my friend, are red. Now we move on to the final accelerator. Closing the deal. So you sent an outreach message and they replied, congratulations. Now what? Do you know what to say, word for word, to get them on the phone? How to lead the call, scope the engagement, and quote 5 to 10 grand a month without your voice cracking like it's your first day of high school? And if it's an interview, do you know how to make sure they choose you and actually sign the deal? I'm gonna tell you, most copywriters undercharge by a country mile. They've never sat in a room where 5-figure monthly retainers were normal. So they just choose the closest number that feels safe for them. The client says yes on the spot because they just got the deal of a century. You think you won, and you just left 50 grand a year on the table. Haggling yourself down at your own garage sale. All too common, unfortunately. There is absolutely no better example than Sam. Dude was grinding out advertorials at $300 a pop. Join us inside of CMB. I said, surely you made some money with these things by now. go ask your client how much money they made so we can use it in your outreach as proof and get you more clients. Dude comes back like 2 days later, tail between his legs. Hey, good news and bad news. So it turns out that client made $50 million last year for my ads. Gut-wrenching moment. So we repositioned him as a creative strategist, fixed his pricing, and he tripled his income in 8 months from 17 grand a month to 50K a month. And I got to hand him his 50K a month award in person at our Bali event. Now, if sales is something that you struggle with, don't worry. Most copywriters are introverted by nature, including me. That's why we have Ben, our sales coach, who's personally closed over 8 figures in deals. This is the exact thing that he coaches our members on. The call, the price, what to say, on DMs, emails, closing a deal, reviewing your sales calls with you, telling exactly where you went wrong, and helping you improve for next time. Now, I want you to rate yourself green if you can lead the call and quote 5 figures with a straight face. Yellow, if you can still drag a deal across the line, but realistically it's less than what you want. And red, if quoting 5 grand makes you want to throw up. Most freelancers struggle heavily with this. Normally I'd rank it red. But honestly, because of how fucking easy it is to get creative strategy clients and the fact that they're literally throwing 10K a month retainers at you, you would have to be a special kind of bad to not close the deal for someone who's literally actively looking to hire and literally smacking you in the face with 10K a month, and all you need to do is say yes. The way we do this, of course, is with proven scripts plus role playing. If you want to get better at closing a deal, it is absolutely important you put in the reps, because the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. Now, underneath this whole flywheel sits the foundation, week 10, and it's the difference between one income spike and a whole career. Stability, systems, killing scope creep before you become another doormat buried under quick favors with no pay rise attached, killing the limiting beliefs and self-sabotage that cripple 90% of freelancers, structuring your days so the work fits your life instead of eating it, 3-day weekends, a few focused hours a day, all balls to the wall, and 50 to 100K months. Your call. This is where the growth paths above 10K a month come in. You can stack clients like Logan, who closed an 8 grand a month retainer plus a $4,400 ad script project in the same week. 12 grand added to his income in 1 month. That's the same Logan, by the way, who we took from literally homeless to 6 figures back in 2019. This story is so crazy, the Daily Mail even wrote an article about it. Or you can change the model entirely and move to a profit share, like Sam, who makes a consistent 50K a month profit share from just 2 clients. Or AJ, my former student, now friend and housemate, who takes home over 100K a month consistently for the last 12 months. And that is income, not revenue. We got to hand him a 100K a month award at Bali, right alongside one of our OG members, Ray, who just hit, try not to fall off your chair, $750,000 a month. I can't wait to give him his $1 million a month award at our next live event in Japan. This is the same Ray, by the way, who joined us in 2019, not even knowing what copywriting was. He hit 10 grand a month within his first month while learning copywriting, then started an agency, scaled that to $2 million a year in 2 years, and today, 7 years later, runs a $40 million charity helping to reform the education system in South Africa and Bali, all as an immigrant and non-native English speaker. If this guy can do it, you have zero excuse to not at least be able to hit 10K a month. We give out 2 20K a month awards, a 50K a month award, and 2 100K a month awards to students who flew in from all over the world. That is the earning power of this skill. For the first time in copywriting history, you can make $1 million a year freelancing without spending 15 years becoming an A-lister. That is why I'm so fucking excited about this opportunity. Now, I want you to rank yourself on your stability systems. Green if you know exactly how much is going to be hitting your account next month, and it's a comfortable 5 figures. Yellow if you have a couple stable-ish clients, but your income's still pretty rocky. And then red if it's full heart rate monitor, which once again is most copywriters. So here's what I want you to do now. I want you to look at your page. There's 9 pillars. Circle the reds. Those are the constraint. They're the ones holding everything else hostage, and fixing them will unlock that whole board for you. If we end up on a call together, those 3 reds are exactly what we'll build your 90-day plan around first. And congratulations, you just did the first hour of consulting on yourself for free. So at this point, people typically land in one of 3 buckets. Bucket 1, your sheet is a sea of red and you've never been paid a cent to write copy. And for those people, I'd honestly say you're not quite ready to join us in CMB yet. So just stick to binging my free content for now. It'll help you build your foundations quickly. But please do not be that person who binge watches YouTube for months, calling it progress, while you continue to make exactly $0. Get your ass inside the Creative Strategist Breakthrough as soon as you can, because this window is not going to sit around waiting for anyone. Maybe you're in bucket 2. Mainly yellow and red with a couple greens in there, in which case our program was built for you. You've got the craft, you made some money, maybe kissed 10 grand once or twice and slid back down. You're underpositioned, undercharging, and overworked. And your fastest route to that strategy seat is 2 to 3 clients at 5 to 10 grand a month each, plus the systems to keep them while still having a life. And then we have bucket 3. Mainly green with some yellows, already north of 10 grand a month and buried in the doing. You want pure strategy, a lean team, or your own offer. We got members at 20, 30, 50K a month plus, using the same principles to raise prices, productize, or partner deeper with brands. So That is the creative strategy flywheel in all its glory. The full model, nothing held back. You could honestly screenshot this and start building it for yourself piece by piece. And honestly, just in this video alone, you already have a way clearer idea of exactly what you need to focus on than most of the people in this industry. But if you'd rather build it with us instead of sitting there trying to piece it together from YouTube, here's the deal. We run a 10-week program called the Creative Strategist Breakthrough. If you've ever heard me talking about CMB, this is the 3.0 version of CMB. It's the exact flywheel installed week by week, weeks 1 to 9, the 10th week there, with a goal of getting you to 10 grand a month in 10 weeks, no matter where you're starting from. Now, 10K a month is not guaranteed, of course, but that is the target we're chasing. And as you saw with Leilani, sometimes all it takes is just one client. If you're accepted to join us, you'll be working directly with me and my entire team of A-list copywriters whose ads and funnels have generated 9 figures in sales. They'll be reviewing your ads and your strategy every single week. 4 coaches, Matt, whose copywriters are trusted by brands like Tony Robbins, Dan Martell, Rise, and V-Shred. Kenneth, who you met earlier, $50 million in sales from 4 ads that he wrote for 1 client. Ben's on sales, 8 figures closed. And of course, you got me. Bit of an Avengers situation. You'll go through it in a small cohort of ambitious copywriters and creative strategists. Honestly, the community is half the value. Everyone's referring each other clients, reviewing each other's ads, pulling each other up. I promise you'll get as much from them as you will from us.
Hey, real quick, Sean interrupting Sean. I just added the craziest bonus to the program and I would be insane to not tell you about it. So here's what we're doing. Everyone knows the hardest part of landing your very first copywriting creative strategy client is that you don't have any proof yet. No one wants to work with you. No one wants to trust you. You don't have any results, any track record. And it's like, how do you get results without a client? How do you get a client without results? Ultimate catch 22, right? Finally, we found a way to solve that. And this is exactly how I'm going to solve that for you. I want to be your first client. That is right. I want to take your ads and I want to run your ads and put real spend behind them and send them to my live working funnels. And if your ads perform, if they do well, I will not only pay you for them, but I will let you use me as a case study. So you can send that screenshot of Ads Manager to clients as outreach, as follow-ups, and say, hey, look at the results that my ads have produced. We literally just started testing this like a week ago. Already, I have several students whose ads are ripping mine to shreds. We have 2 guys. Arian, one of his ads got a 42x ROAS. Anthony, his ad that he made for me got a 101x ROAS. That is unheard of. Immediately, as soon as I sent that screenshot to Arian, he reached out to 2 prospects that he had previously who started ignoring him. Immediately, those 2 people were like, hey, you're pretty good at this. Let's have a serious conversation about working together. Bam! Just like that, 2 clients in the pipeline. That is the power of having proof. And I want to be the person to help give you that early proof that is so hard to get as a beginner. I want to help you get that leg up that you need to succeed in this industry. This is how we're doing it. Now, obviously, I don't have the bandwidth or the bankroll to be able to do this forever. So this is a very limited time opportunity that you would be crazy not to take advantage of. This is the most insane advantage you could possibly have in this industry as a beginner. So I'm only offering it for a limited time. All the details are below. Click that link in the description, get all the details, apply it to join us. Ben will tell you on the call if we're still offering this or not. Get in the program and let us help you crack that first 10K a month as quickly as possible.
You also get the Arsenal. Copy Pro, my custom AI bot trained on over $300 million of winning campaigns. Agora's best promotions, every major control I could find, plus the 50 grand of A-listed copywriting courses I've personally bought. So it drafts ads that are already solid out of the box. Inbox Hunter, the reverse outreach AI included, that automatically finds clients on Meta Ads Library for you and makes them email you first. Pretty cool. Cost us thousands and 3 months to develop. You get that? Included. The full funnel plus swipe vault that I'm constantly updating, and the chat vault, the exact winning outreach messages my students sent, every reply, and full recordings of closing calls that landed the deals. See exactly how they did it and just model them. Listen, I really hate the phrase business in a box, but if you're a copywriter with foundational skills, this is as close as it legally gets. It's the 3rd full rebuild of this program in 8 years. It's taken 84 copywriters past 6 figures a year, a handful to 7 figures a year, and it's helped hundreds more go full-time as copywriters and creative strategists. This thing is my obsession. It's what I wake up thinking about, go to bed thinking about. I even temporarily paused my whole music career as a touring DJ with 60 million Spotify streams to go all in on building this for the next 10 weeks. That's how passionate I am about this shit. Now, we only take on a handful of copywriters each month because I'm serious about ensuring that everyone in this program gets results. Because yeah, shockingly, I actually care. And right now, at the time of filming, if you join us, you follow the process and you do the work, and you haven't made at least 5 grand in new creative strategist income within 90 days of your start date, we will keep working with you for free at no extra cost until you do. Obviously, we can't do the work for you, but we refuse to let you do it alone. And since the investment is less than 5 grand, run the maths. We literally guarantee you'll make at least 5K in new income or work with you until you do. And I'll tell you, my coaching team ain't cheap. If I couldn't deliver on this promise, I would have gone bankrupt a long time ago. Clearly, I'm still in business, so you can draw your own conclusions. Now, we probably won't keep that guarantee forever. It is for a limited time launch window, and I'll likely pull it in a few months. But if you're still seeing it in that link below in the description, that means it's still live. And that's the same deal with the lifetime updates. So right now, the way it works is you pay once and you get every update we ever ship forever for the rest of time. Every new bot, prompt, workflow, training, for life. People who joined TMB 8 years ago and paid once got this entire 3.0 version and everything I've built since then and will ever build for free. Legitimately insane. Like every single mentor I've ever had tells me I'm an absolute idiot for doing this. And honestly, they're probably right. That one's definitely on the chopping block too. Get in before that changes and that means you're in for life. Now, last thing, and I'm saying this peer-to-peer, no guru voice, because I hate fake urgency as much as you do. And I'm not going to slap a red countdown timer on reality. You've watched every wave of the last decade sail past. Dropshipping, SMMA, crypto. Every one of those things demanded you start from zero. And you set those out. Good. This is the one you were waiting for. It runs on the one skill you've already spent years building. This time, you're actually early. But early has an expiry date. Right now, getting clients is on easy mode. Neil got 400 opportunities from a bio change. Trav got one posting a freaking selfie video on Instagram with zero editing. That stuff does not last. Every month, this space gets more crowded. And here's my prediction, because we already watched it happen once. Some huge influencer is going to have the same epiphany I did, Death Star laser beam their entire audience at creative strategy and flood this market with untrained beginners all wearing the title. Clients will get burned, the title will get tarnished, and the easy mode window will slam shut. It's exactly what happened to copywriting. Used to be this prestigious title until guys like Andrew Tate and his 100,000 disciples came along and every 18-year-old slapped copywriter in their bio. So at this point, you've got two options. You can go at it alone, totally valid, and it's free. We've covered most of it already right here in this video. It'll realistically take you somewhere between 12 and 24 months of real trial and error to figure it out, by which time the easy wave will long be gone. Or you can just work with us and get there 5 to 10 times faster with a contractual income guarantee under you, while the easy window is still wide open. Every success story I showed you here today picked the fast lane. That's not a coincidence. So here's the move. Click the link below to watch a short video with all the details and apply. It takes about 60 seconds, so you got 1 minute to lose and everything to gain. Just tell us where you are, what you're making, and where you want to be. Please be honest on it, because if we don't reckon we can get you to at least 5 to 10 grand a month within 10 weeks, I don't want your money. And I'd rather tell you no than prescribe you something that's not a fit. If it is a fit, you'll book a free game plan call with me or my team. We'll walk your 9 boxes together, dig over your reds, map your 90-day plan to your first or next 2 creative strategist clients. And hey, if calls aren't your thing and you'd rather just chat casually first, totally get it. Just DM me the word game plan on Instagram and we'll take it from there. If you're serious about this, I want you in the group. I promise it'll be the best investment you make in your career this year. And we would love the honor of helping you crack $100,000 a year and beyond. The link's below, 60-second application, and I'll see you on the other side.